A very good afternoon. Welcome to Southern View, the show in which we bring you all the news from the south of the country. I am Uma Sudhir. I come to you live from Hyderabad and I'm joined by my colleague Sam Daniel from Chennai. We have Ritu Rajpurohit from Karnataka. We also have my colleague Ashish Pandey and also Ashwin from Kerala. First, over to my colleague Sam Daniel in Chennai. Sam, a huge controversy that's broken out after what the actor has said is body shaming by a journalist. Has the journalist actually apologized to her after this huge controversy?
That's right, Uma, thank you. No apology yet from the journalist, but the press club in Chennai has condemned the question. And this happened at a press conference in Chennai yesterday, what was meant to promote Gouri Kishan's film Others that released this morning across Tamil Nadu. And this YouTuber tried to get to know the weight of the actor, referring to a scene in the film in which the protagonist lifts her. And this is the second time it happened, and Gouri Kishan could not stand it, and she made it very clear that this is body shaming, unacceptable, and she minced no words, calling it a stupid question. But the YouTuber continued to argue with her, justifying his question, and Gouri, who was the only woman present in that press conference, made it very clear that you cannot normalize body shaming and asked him to stop it. Her team was present there, including the director and the other lead actor Aditya Madhavan, but none of them chose to speak, letting her fend for herself. And this is what happened at that press conference, where there was a heated exchange, and social media and other celebrities have commended Gouri Kishan for standing her ground and to make a point very clear that body shaming is unacceptable. After this, you would have the exclusive conversation I had with Gouri and Aditya Madhavan.
சரி நீங்க அன்னைக்கு ஹீரோ கிட்ட கேட்டீங்க அவங்க இப்படி இப்படி அவங்க தூக்குறீங்க அவங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவு வெயிட் அது ஒரு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாடி ஷேப் அது பாடி ஷேப் நீங்க பேசும்போது நான் உங்களை இன்டரப்ட் பண்ணல நான் பேசுறேன் நீங்க இன்டரப்ட் பண்ணாதீங்க அதான் டைரக்டரோட சாய்ஸ்ங்க நீங்க யாருக்கு அது கேக்குறதுக்கு சரி நீங்களே நடத்துங்க ஏங்க உட்காருங்க.
Joining us now, Gouri Kishan and Aditya Madhavan. Thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on the release of your film Others.
Thank you.
Gouri, if you can begin with what happened yesterday. I'm so sorry about what you had to go through with a journalist body shaming you in public. And this is the second time you faced the question earlier as well.
The thing is the lack of understanding. They were like, we never called you fat, we just asked your weight. And they are defending that that's not body shaming. Who gives anybody the right to comment on my body or anybody's body? It's a personal choice. And he's advising me to lose weight because I'm a heroine. Are we still, like, I thought in the 21st century things have changed, and it's not about physical appearances. And I did mention how I let my work speak, and I know I don't need, like, who is he? Like, who makes him like that? Where is that attitude coming from where he thinks that he can ask you whatever it is? And for a good solid 10 to 12 minutes it went on, and the fact that they had reasons to go again and again and like attack me for so long, and even say it's maybe because you don't know the language, just because I'm not from my native is not Chennai, but I was speaking in fluent Tamil. So this is extreme emotional manipulation and abuse, where they make you look like the fool and they make you look stupid, because he was so offended that I called his question stupid. And I told him it is a stupid question, please don't call this journalism. And then he later went on to say it was a joke. We have celebrated actors like Khushbu and Sarita. He is not the reason they reached that place. He feels, or people like in the press think, that they are the reason they have reached, or they have put them their Khushbu ma'am and Sarita ma'am or whoever have made their mark. It is their hard work. It is a result of their talent and hard work and perseverance. And from where is this thing coming that the press is doing us a favor? So it's absolutely ridiculous.
The industry and the larger public commend you for standing your ground, although you were the only woman present in that hall. And you are particular, this cannot be normalized. Body shaming cannot be normalized.
Absolutely. It happens everywhere, not just in industry, at homes. It's happening everywhere, and it's so, if you react, they're like, why are you making this a big deal? That's when I say stop normalizing. And it's like, no, we find it bubbly and cute. No, I'm not going to let that go. Like, we let so many things slide, but it carries on and becomes a bigger trauma tomorrow. The last week in the press meet when this comment was made, unfortunately I couldn't speak up because I went on to the freeze mode, or whatever you feel like when you're under heavy stress or like a lot of stress, when you don't expect. I was caught off guard and I didn't react, and I felt so disappointed and angry at myself for not having stood up, not just for me but for the rest of the women around me. And today also, like the press meet yesterday, it was an intentional targeting that happened, because if you noticed, in less than 2 minutes of the press meet, the question was indirectly posed. So it almost felt like he was here to attack me and put me down, and he was appalled at the fact that I reacted. He was like, oh, how can a woman... It's almost like they were silencing me. If you see the video, I'm literally requesting, I'm begging them, let me speak. I never interrupted them, and although however ridiculous their questions were sounding, it's basic decorum, and I try to respond and not react. I don't expect them to have the same culture or like whatever that I'm trying to, but there is a limit. Like the limit of go and lose some weight. Who the hell does he think he is? Who gives them the right to say that? So that's what I'm saying. No other actor should go through this, be it women or male. Your physical appearance is not everything, and I let my work speak, and the industry is much more than that. Stop making it look like it's so low, or like stop reducing it to what it's not.
Your colleagues were with you, including the director. Do you think they should have spoken?
Well, I was forced to speak for myself. I think it's better to not expect anything from people. Definitely, it would have gone a long way if one word of solidarity there. It's all about spontaneous, and nobody's prepared for this. I've been in the industry for whatever experience. Nobody teaches you these things, but these are things that should feel like human nature. It should just happen.
Your message for young women who face this all the time but don't have the guts to speak out.
You don't have to tolerate it. This has to stop. This is not okay. You speaking out does not mean you're too much or you're being dramatic or overreacting. Don't listen to that. If you feel offended, even something, the tone, anything, you don't have to justify. If it's crossed the boundary, it's crossed the line, it's crossed the line. Do it your way. The way I reacted, it's not like... I also froze. So don't feel like you're a failure if you freeze in such situations, but just make peace, clear your conscience, address it however you can. If you can't reach that same person, if another person in a private setting is doing it, call him out respectfully. Do it your way.
Right. Aditya, you were there. Now do you regret that your team should have spoken?
Of course, sir. I think we could have spoken. I'd like to apologize to Gouri publicly. I feel like it was one of my duties to speak out. But as I said before, interrupting was one of the thoughts that was going on in my head, and I actually froze for a second, thinking, not knowing what to say. Maybe what I said would have even escalated the issue in a very bad way. But I personally feel, despite me wanting to help, like she handled it, she owned that space, she really came forth, and I think her perspective is what matters in what she's trying to say.
Lessons for everyone, particularly for those in the media, and Gouri, many say, has emerged as an inspiration for those women who face body shaming every day. That's all from Tamil Nadu. Now it's over to my colleague Ashish in Andhra Pradesh for a breaking story. Ashish?
Thank you, Sam. In fact, we are talking about political stories, and you have mentioned about one body shaming incident in Chennai. Now we are moving to a very political story in Hyderabad. Remember, Jubilee Hills constituency, assembly constituency of Telangana, which is located in the center of Hyderabad. It is going for poll on November 11 along with Bihar. And here we are witnessing, while we are witnessing a high skill campaign, we are also witnessing that how ahead of the campaign, remember campaign will end on November 9th evening. Before that, all the political party, Congress, BRS as well as BJP, they have intensified campaign. Meanwhile, election authority have also enhanced their security and their checks. Today morning, election authorities, election flying squad, in fact, raided two houses which is linked to two prominent leader of BRS. One is ex-MLA of BRS, and the one is sitting MLC of BRS. And what BRS is now alleging that it's a misuse of government machinery. They have blamed the Congress government, which is in power in Telangana, that they are using government machinery to pressurize BRS and manipulate and harm the campaign of BRS. And this entire episode witnessed high decibel protest by BRS. Now we'll go to Uma, who is in Hyderabad. She will tell you more about Jubilee Hills by-elections.
Thank you, Ashish. Telangana has seen a Munugod bypoll that was the most expensive bypoll ever. And once again, in the Jubilee Hills bypoll, we are talking about big money that's flowing. And perhaps that's also the reason why you're having checks here and there, though numbers have not been big so far, at least not so far reported. Keeping our focus on Jubilee Hills, the campaign to the Jubilee Hills bypoll has been turning more and more polarizing, with very, very communal and polarizing speeches being given by prominent political leaders. That includes Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, who spoke about Muslims getting their existence or their protection or their progress because of the Congress party, and that had provoked very strong reactions. And subsequently, yesterday, Union Minister Bandi Sanjay spoke about consolidating the Hindu vote bank there and asking the Hindus to vote en bloc, saying that otherwise MIM and Congress are getting together in order to create an Islamic state here in Telangana. He said that the 1 lakh Muslims there would not allow for the celebration of Hindu festivals, and therefore he wanted the 1 lakh Hindus there to vote together so that some kind of a situation like that does not arise. In fact, he referred to the Congress candidate, who is Naveen Yadav, as Naveen Khan, and the BRS candidate Maganti Sunita as Sunita Begum, saying that if you allow them to get voted, that is what would happen. Let's listen to what Bandi Sanjay had to say.
తెలంగాణలో హిందూ సమాజం ఆలోచలే ఈ తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో హిందూ రాజ్యం రావాలా, ఇస్లాం రాజ్యం రావాలా, ఈ తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో కాషాయపు జెండా రెప్పరెప్పలలో, పచ్చ జెండా రెప్పరెప్పలలో హిందూ సమాజం ఆలోచించాలి. తెలంగాణలో హిందూ సమాజం అంతా ఈ జుబ్లీస్ లోని 3 లక్షల మంది హిందువులు ఓటు బ్యాంక్ మారాలని కోరుకుంటున్న విషయాన్ని జుబ్లీస్ లోని హిందూ సమాజం ఆలోచించాలి. మీకోసం మా రామచంద్రరావు గారి నేతృత్వంలో ఈ తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో యుద్ధం చేయడానికి మేము సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నాం. మాకు భరోసా ఇవ్వండి, మాకు ఆత్మస్థైర్యాన్ని ఇవ్వండి. ఈ రేవంత్ రెడ్డి ఎంఎం పార్టీల యొక్క పని వాళ్ళని ఖతం చేసే బాధ్యత. నవీన్ ఖానో సునీత బేగమో గెలిస్తే ఏమైతుంది? మీ కమ్యూనిటీలన్నీ మసీలైతాయి, దర్గలైతాయి. బక్రీద్ పండుగ వస్తే మీ గల్లీలని రక్తం ఏరులై వాడుతుంది. మీ గల్లీలో మీరు వినాయక పండుగ వేసుకోరాదు, దసరా పండుగ వేసుకోరాదు, హనుమాన్ జయంతి వేసుకోరాదు, ఛత్రపతి శివాజీ మహారాజ్ చేసుకోరాదు అన్న. 2047 వరకు ఈ దేశాన్ని ఇస్లాం రాజ్యంగా మార్చాలని చెప్పి ఓవైసీ కలలు కంటుంటే, ఈ తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రాన్ని ఇస్లాం రాజ్యంగా మార్చడానికి ఇలా రేవంత్ రెడ్డి ఓవైసీ కలిసి ఇవాళ కుట్రలు పడుతున్న విషయాన్ని గుర్తుంచుకోండి.
बंडी संजय, ये जानना चाहिए आपका किशन रेड्डी ऑलरेडी जुबली हिल्स को भेज दिया टीआरएस को. उनका पार्लियामेंट में जीतने के लिए गुरुदक्षिणा के नाम पे जुबली हिल्स इलेक्शन बीजेपी के साथ टीआरएस को मिला दिए. ये सोच समझ के बात करना है, वरना हम चैलेंज कर रहे हैं. क्या 10,000 वोट मिलने वाला है? किशन रेड्डी जी, आपका लोकसभा में अंतर्भाग है जुबली हिल्स. ये सवाल को जवाब देने की कोशिश करो. और मैं बंडी संजय जी से पूछता हूँ, आपका लोकसभा साथी किशन रेड्डी के नेतृत्व कर रहे सो सिकंदराबाद लोकसभा में जुबली हिल्स आता है, आप सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर दोनों, क्या बीजेपी को 10,000 वोट नहीं है तो दोनों जवाब क्या देते, ये बताने के लिए मैं डिमांड कर रहा हूँ.
So now we go over to my colleague Ritu Rajpurohit in Bengaluru, where once again DK Shivkumar is getting mocked for contesting, or rather his name coming up once again for Chief Minister. Ritu, tell us more details.
Well, here in the Karnataka, you see there's no rest to this political matter that we have been seeing over the CM chair. You have now the Union Minister, H.D. Kumaraswamy, who has gone on to taunt basically the Deputy CM, D.K. Shivkumar, where he says that he apparently has always seems to have a conversation directly with the God about the CM chair. So he says that this is the matter between the CM as well as the God. Now, that's the kind of conversation, you know, that the H.D. Kumaraswamy has had today, earlier in the day when he was in the Mysuru. But all that, this political matter, you see, refuses to die down here in the state. Well, the next up, you see here in the Karnataka, there seems to be no rest for the sugarcane farmers who, in fact, have been protesting here in the Karnataka's northern Karnataka, basically in Belgavi, Bagalkot, as well as in Haveri too. There, the farmers have all hit the streets, blocking the highways and demanding the state government to ensure that they get their price. That's 3,500 for per quintal, basically. Now, that's the kind of demand that the farmers have been making from these regions of the Karnataka. But yes, now that's the kind of there's also a pressure that's getting mounted on the state government, for which now the Karnataka CM Siddaramaiah, in fact, has convened a meeting with the sugarcane farmer factory owners as well, trying to convince them, asking them to negotiate on their
सर आपने जो है मीटिंग चल रहा है, सरकार इस पर जो है समाधान लाने की बात करिए सर, बात कहाँ तक पहुँची है सर?
बात ही शुरू नहीं हुआ, पूछने की कहाँ सवाल आता है। अभी हम जा रहे हैं मीटिंग करने। यहाँ पे जो फैक्ट्री के ओनर्स हैं उनको भी पूछना, उनका जो प्रॉब्लम है वो सॉल्व करना तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का फर्ज है, मेरा तो फर्ज नहीं है। वो पहला हम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया जो काम करना है वो पूछ लेके बाद में हम निर्णय लेंगे। व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ रिलीफ वी हैव टू गिव टू द फार्मर्स, दैट विल थिंक।
बट सर फार्मर्स जो है वो भी अड़े हुए हैं, जो फैक्ट्री ओनर्स है वो भी अड़े हुए हैं सर, तो आप किस तरीके से उनको समाधान लाने की बात करोगे सर? क्या तरीका है सर?
बातचीत होने के बाद मालूम पड़ता है बहन, वो तब तक मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा, जरा वेट करो पेशेंस से।
सर बीजेपी बोल रही है कि ये जो है
राजकारण कर रहे हैं इसमें।
ओके,
that should not have been done, because since our own central minister is from the Karnataka, he has to solve it. First he has to intervene in this, then we can sort it out.
In my letter, it's very clear that the central government has fixed the FRP unscientifically, and that needs to be corrected. And there are various solutions for that, technological interventions that are required for that, and that's why even the CM has written to the Prime Minister seeking an appointment. So the FRP or the MSP is fixed by the government of India, and that needs to be scientific in nature, and that needs to be corrected right now.
Farmers have hit the streets, and today they are called Band for Belgavi and Bagalkot district, Chikkodi district. Rather than issuing such nonsensical statements, all the political leaders, irrespective of political party, they should stand by sugarcane growers. They should protect their interests. This is everybody's duty.
Well, joining me now is Ashish, our colleague, who's going to bring us more news basically from his region. Ashish, over to you.
Well, Ritu, thank you so much. In fact, the state of Kerala, the Sabarimala controversy is still broiling after the Kerala High Court. In fact, suspects there is a larger international racket that could be at play, which is into pilferation of gold and the precious artifact. The BJP has called for a 1 crore signature campaign, where it promises in the next between 15 to 20th, they will collect 1 crore signature and submit to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. While the Congress has come forward to state that the BJP is always late in its in the way it is campaigning for Sabarimala. Meanwhile, the Rajiv Chandrasekhar, BJP state president, has also hit out at the Congress for his stance. Watch out for these reactions that we have got from the Congress and the BJP.
At the initial stage, they were with the state government. They were supporting this pilferage. Only after the UDF took the entire matter against the government, Now recently only the BJP is coming and they are saying against the Sabarimala. Initially they were very silent. They were with the state government.
Unfortunately for the Congress party, they are led by a leadership that doesn't believe in any values. They see only political opportunism. For them, Sabarimala and the loot in Sabarimala is a political opportunity. We don't see it as a political opportunity. We see it as an assault on our fundamental right to practice our religion, fundamental right of every believer to have safe temples. So I'm sorry to say to Mr. Sadish that we are both on very different tracks. He can be winning some 100 meter in a school ground. We are playing the long haul race to reform the management of temples and to protect the rights of devotees in Kerala.
Well, that's what Rajiv Chandrasekhar is saying, stating that a bigger reform in temple must be done, and that is what BJP is aiming at. Now I pass on to my colleague Uma for the rest of the stories from the south of India.
Thank you, Ashwin. It's been celebrations and felicitations for the Indian women's cricket team ever since they won the World Cup. After being felicitated and meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the girls are now getting back to their homes. And in Andhra Pradesh, cricketer Sri Charani, along with former India captain Mithali Raj, in fact met with Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu as well as IT Minister Mr. Nara Lokesh. They were felicitated, and of course the country extremely proud of these young girls. And in Telangana as well, you had Arundhati Reddy meeting with the Sports Minister Vakati Srihari, and they are all being celebrated by the country as they rightfully should be for the big cup that they brought back to the country and the pride that they have brought to the country. That's it then on Southern View. We will continue to bring you updates of all the news that's happening from across the country. Thank you so much for watching. Time now for a short break.